today. It's Friday, Friday. We so excited. We so excited. We gonna have a ball today. Tomorrow is Saturday and Sunday comes afterwards. I don't want this weekend to end. It's Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody is looking forward to the weekend. We gotta get down Friday, Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend. Friday, Friday. Gotta get down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. And Friday, Friday. Getting down on Friday. Everybody's looking forward to the weekend. Partying, 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 partying. Fun, 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 fun. Looking forward to the weekend.
Welcome one and all to another TeaTime Friday League racing here at Hungary. Today we are got the 17 drivers out there. We are missing a couple drivers today, unfortunately, but we do press on. So it is a full qualifying session. So we do have Q1 where 15 drivers do go through from Q1 into Q2. That is where the drivers do then start thinking about their tyre strategy for the race. So then the top 10 go on to Q3, where they do battle out for the P1 position. So right now we're just on board with Air Freedom, who's posted a 1:16.2 time, which is an absolutely fantastic time to start. So I'll just bring it up the chat and see if anybody said hello. So we got Wild Gamer saying hello, Wild Gamer. It was actually put in a 1:17.1, so that's DXT Nilmera. And we got Lewis. My hips are moving. Sorry, I do like to put a little bit of a tune on at the beginning. That was Rebecca Black singing Friday, because it is Friday. So let's have a little scroll down to see who's who in the race today. So we have Freedom at the moment on P1. We've got DXT Singh, who is competing up there at the top with a 1:16.4. We've got Non-Human, also a top running competitor with 1:17.0 Nilma, who's got potential to be stealing podiums. We've got Hobo, who's surprised to being quite quick for a Spares fan. With a 1:17.5. We've got Flea with a 1:19.2. Not too sure what he's doing. Probably doing a Tour de France before heading around Hungary at that pace. We've got DXT Matty, who's just started his fast lap. We've got Scotty Harris, and there was a little shift. And Sesvin in the Ferrari has posted a 1:16.9. A very nice time there from Sesvin. So we'll go down. We've got Matty. So Matty is on the fast lap. We've got Scotty Harris in the pit. We've got Moyland, who is halfway around his lap at the moment. We've got the DXT Sausage in the pit. Lewis Devika has jumped in the pits. Dutch face on and out lap. We've got Shawnicus out there who's invalidated his lap, so he'll be slowed down. You know what, let's jump on the board with Shawnicus. And we did have a comment there from Wild Gamer saying rain in 15 minutes, which means it's not likely to affect Q1, but will affect Q2. Because they've done a smart thing and they made sure the weather does run along. So Shawnicus now, bam, starting his fast lap. We're heading down into Turn 1. Turn 1 is the Michael Schumacher corner, like it is in Bahrain, around 1A. This is Turn 1A, not Turn 2, as do people do. And then into Turn 2 here. Turn 2 here has 3 very different lines to go through, depending on your type of driving style. Beyond through Turn 3 here. So it is very bizarre, that one. Into Turn 4 now, this is where a lot of people do invalidate. Very nicely done there from Shawnicus. Then watch the inside curve here of Turn 5. It will send you spinning for 6. Into Turn 7 and 8, this little chicane. Slows you right down, pushing you on to turn 9, sweeping left-hander, followed by sweeping right-hander. This is another corner that track limits will be pushed at. Watch out, so turn 11, now around turn 12, again. Very easy to invalidate, and Shortcut does invalidate there. Very easy, around turn 13 here. On to turn 14. And turn 15 is the hairpin ahead. But I do believe, so Shortcut slow down. And turn 15, this one here, it's a late apex corner. So you want to go right wide, come right in deep at the end. Give yourself the most speed you want to start a flying lap. When you're racing, you want to keep tight in. But on a qualifying, you want to start out wide and bring it in to give you the fastest exit. Lewis Edwards, can we make Rebecca Black the league sponsor? Speak to Herbo. Speak to Herbo about that. I have a verbal, when I say verbal, it is a little agreement with Alistair Griffin, who does, he's got a song called Drive. I do have a verbal confirmation from him that I can use any song, any of his songs in any capability, as long as I do mention his name. And because I'm because I do this for non-profit, I don't get paid for this. I can use any music as long as it's registered and copyrighted, and I mention the artist's name. I'm all good to do that. So, anybody question music? I do know about the legal mumbo jumbo. So we've got Shortcut now, who has actually managed to put a string of lapping together. I think he's toned it down. He really has toned that down to make sure he got a lap in, but he's still got a 116.1. I do think he could he could have took off 2, maybe 3 attempts there, but he did slow down with non-human sticking at 115.8. Non-human has got this now. He's got into his groove. I do find that I think he's putting a lot more practice in, or he's just used to the game. He's got the right setup for himself in the game. Because with the game, it's quite easy to have a good or bad setup, really. But a setup that'll work for me may not exactly work for another driver. So everybody says setup should be tailored to the driver. I do find a lot of people go onto the racing net to end up picking a setup for them. But it's good to start with that and tinker. Guys, you've got to work on your setups, because the setup is down to you. It's down to your driving style. It's how you want that car to feel. A bit like in real life, George Russell will not be able to jump into Hamilton's car and pull off an amazing lap, because it'd be a completely different setup. So we've got nearly everybody with a lap out. Now we've got Fight Me Now Bot, who is coming out. Now Fight Me Now Bot has got the pace to really push into podium places. But does he have the consistency to make it happen? That is the question I keep asking myself every week. Because there's times when he starts at the back and then he powers through and he's up there and then he crashes out or spins and then goes. And he is quite aggressive as well as a driver. So a lot of drivers are not willing to give him any room or leeway anymore. So he is bullying his way through at times. Bullying might be a harsh word to use, but he does force himself. He does thrust himself down through the middle. So it is one of those drivers that you just gotta kind of watch out as another driver. So let's a quick run down as we are getting the halfway point of Q1, or we're just past it. So we've got Not a Human got in P1, Shortcut P2, and Freedom P3. This could be a good measure of what we're going to be seeing in Q2 and Q3. Moylan's up there as well in 4th, and Lewis Dabika, another driver who is capable of causing an upset here. Looking at this, we've got a lot of drivers who have the ability to get podiums. They've got the pace, they've got the aptitude. We just need more consistency from some drivers to really push it through. So we've got DXT Matty. Now, this DXT Matty is a guy that I do love watching racing. I don't think he's got back to his best yet, and it frustrates me as a fan of the game. as a fan of the league and a fan of DXC Matty himself, that we don't see the best that he can give. If you went back to 12 months ago, he was smashing it, proper going at it, and he was getting podiums consistently. Whether these new drivers are just quicker than him, or whether he's just not got down to the grips of this game, that's something that we're going to see. So then we've got the Dutchy McDutchface sitting in 8th at the moment. A guy that I love his name. His name's amazing. I adore. Lewis, I just want to know weather. I'm open for weather updates. As a commentator, I do like a surprise, but throw it at us. If you've got updates, throw them at me. It doesn't really bother me too much, so keep them up. So we've got Fight Me Now Bot, he's just jumped up to 115.7. Like I said, he is quick. We just need his consistency to stick to make it last. Okay, so Scotty Harris, another great. Oh, sorry, let's go. Speedy number 25, or AKA DXT Sausage. Again, a driver that should be battling for podiums. This top 10 all could get podiums. The bottom 7 could get podiums. But at what capability and what circuit may differ from driver to driver. Now, Speedy himself, as you can see, he is in the Mercedes, sitting there in pit box 13. Unlucky, kiddo. You've got no chance if numbers are an omen. But it's gonna be amazing to see whether DXT Sausage could get himself up a few places in Q2 or Q3 to really, because he's on at the moment. If you're looking at this, if this goes into Q2, he is going to be on the brink of getting knocked down. Especially when you've got drivers like Scotty Harris, who is capable of, again, fighting for a podium. Sesvin's got pace. Now, we've seen this very early on in Australia. Spotting the number 88, which is my number as well. Absolutely, got to back the guy for that, having that number. So I'm guessing he's 33 going on to 34. A guy who I do believe should be up further up. He's proven it, he's quick. Whether this circuit's for him, because Hungary itself is a very different circuit from any other track circuit in the world. And I'll get onto the Hungary side in a moment. Now DXT Hobo, he needs his teammate in front of him to guide him. Oh, look at that. He's lucky he's on an outlap. Now, oh no, it's not his teammates in front of him. Also, no, sorry, his teammates actually retired from the session for now. So Hobo is a driver now. I want to see Hobo do well. I do, but I love giving him grief more. So I will just have to say, yeah, he's not going to get anywhere. He'll be lucky to get into Q2. No, this is a guy I do have to say, I do like him. He is the Lewis Hamilton of the lawnmower world. He is a championship lawnmower racer. He's a champion lawnmower racer, let's say. The guy puts himself in P9 at the moment, and he's not far from breaking into those higher places. This guy could and should be battling with DXC Matty in those podium positions. So I do want to see more from him. I do want to see him getting better and better each race, which, if you went back to the beginning of this installation of the F1 series, you've seen him all over the place. And he'll say himself, he just didn't get into the game, and now we're seeing him getting back there. I think by the end of this season, we could actually see him on the podium. Now, I'll get back to... so we've got Flea. No, the Scottish Marauder. He is an absolutely relentless. He never quits. As you can see, there is rain due to come down. Update from Lewis is, got rain in 10 minutes, which was a few minutes ago, so start of PAQ2. Dry race is sunny throughout. It's like he quoted Jeff. He quoted that numbskull. Jeff. Screw you, Lewis. Back to Flea. The guy should be. If he could win, if being a likeable driver could get you further up, he should be winning, because he is a very likeable guy. He looks like Roger when he dons a red wig. Oh, I tell you what, I thought that was him going. I thought he was going to go. But I tell you what, he's handled that quite well. He hasn't lost a lot of time, but I think he's gonna have to. He's not got time to get in and out. And we'll leave that out because his messing around there has not hampered any other drivers. So Matt's coming in the pit, nowhere. Has not improved his time. Can Hobo? Hobo's got into the pits now. Hobo somehow managed to escape through Q2. Says Finn, oh no. And then call me Pappy Jeff. And then says Finn, oh yes. Yeah. Well, so that is the end of Q1. We are going to be saying goodbye to Frenzy and to Flea. Frenzy has never set a competitive time in Q1. He always goes out. So, fight me now about sitting in P1 at the moment with a 115.7. Let's remember that number, 115.7. Let's see whether anybody else can beat that time so far. Now we've got Herbo saying, I hate this track. I'll tell you what, Herbo, me and you should have swapped because I absolutely love this track. Right, so we've got Wild Gamer. I'm having to run a compromised setup because of my tyre overheating problems. Here's the thing. You're running a compromised setup, yet you're putting in a stellar time. That's a very good time, Wild Gamer, and I can't fault you for that. So if you're running a compromised setup to work on the overheating tyres, then you've done a great job with that setup. Imagine what you could have done with a proper setup. So Herbo, you should have done commentary and let me race. So we do have a wet Q2. Here's the thing, boys and girls. This actually means that no matter where you come on this Q2 or what tyre you use, you get free choice of tyre at the beginning of the race. Unless you go out with dry tyres. So let's put these back on. So they've all gone out on dry tyres. Now it is raining. Alright, so I want to find a cut of driver who's out in front. Now, if anybody can update me what's going on with the tyre selection, is it too dry to actually run a normal tyre? Is it too dry to run a wet tyre, or is it dry enough to run a dry tyre? To me, it looks like you should be on intermediates. And by the way, that car is sliding. Sesford is retired from the session. He's crashed out. Sesford lost it. Must have been. I tell you what, Moyland almost did exactly the same thing there as what Sesson has just done. So, what a start. Right, we do have a few people in already in the chat now, guys. Just let us know what you're thinking. Who do you reckon is going to be the top 3 at the end of Q2? Oh, look at that! This track is too slippy for drives. Oh, fuck me now, bots out! Scotty Howard's got a very good view. Oh, fans! Oh, that was unbelievable. I jumped on Scotty Harris just to see what was going on, why he was staying still. And he was getting out of the way for drivers and fight me that, but it says, look, it's definitely not on my side of this league. No, it's not, my friend. It's really unfortunate. But Lewis the Beaker, freedom. They're out. It's like has freedom. Freedom's lost his wheel and his cars end up in the middle of the track. I think he crashed in the pit lane, and the game just resets him onto the track. And Scotty Harris is around. You spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, round, round. Sorry, guys. Yeah, track's a bit wet for it, mate. Yeah, it is. It's a bit wet. Now, we have lost 4 drivers already. So as long as your time is faster than one other driver, you go through. Well, your time has to be faster than 125.9 to go through. So that's the threshold, guys. At the moment, yeah, you've got 131s, 130s, 129s, 126s. But if you want to secure your place 100% to get through, you need to be above 125.9 and one other driver. Well, okay, 10 minutes left of this rain. So 10 minutes left means that Q1 will be a drying circuit. Now, I'm expecting everybody to be jumping in the pits, changing to an intermediate set of tyres and hammering that. Let's go jump on the iHider, because we haven't spoken about iHider yet. Now, we've got Vedran going, yes! Hello, Vedran. Thank you very, very much for joining us in the TTFL group. So we do have Sings Losty. Sings Losty coming out of turn 2. I'm about to say turn 3, but it's actually turn 2. It's the third turn, but turn 2. Work that out. Let's have a look. Let's see if we can see anything. We can see a tyre. That's about it. Just the tyre. So we are. So we've got a couple of drivers here who are due to go out. Now, iHider is on the intermediate tyres. Can he actually really stick himself into? Can he stick himself into Q1? He should be able to. Oh, Q2, sorry. I keep getting it mistaken. So we've got quite a bit going on right now. So we've got rain coming down. We've got 2 cars on track. We've got a lot to discuss whether about the tyre structure. Now, if drivers put out, see, I don't understand whether if there's any leniency to the drivers who put on a a dry set of tyres and qualify. Now, whether non-human is restricted to those soft tyres, where everybody else below him may be able to get a free choice, with it being a wet Q2, will be unfair. But that is something that we just have to kind of like watch out for. So as you can see, Nilmer is on an outlap, is on intermediate tyres. Surely because has set himself up for intermediates. Now, I think Nilmer's done the right idea. If he gets himself out now, he can do a lap, maybe get back in and out again for a second attempt with the intermediate tyres. If they're just saying non-human screwed, it all depends. Now, it is going to be a dry race, which means he'll be on those soft tyres. But whether or not these guys can get a 120 time with the intermediate tyres is a question that we need to look. Softs are awful. Now, I completely agree. When I've raced on this circuit, I have always gone mediums or hards first. I've always picked the harder compound. I tend to stay away from the soft tyres around here until right near the end. Hard tyres actually work really, really well around this circuit. Now, iHider's put himself a 127.8. Now, that's a fair time. It could get him into Q3. But there are a lot of drivers out there who are due to put in more time. So you've got Speedy and the DXT Moylands, who are both due to put in a bit of a hammer in time. So go-to tyre is hard. Now, I do agree, hard tyre is fantastic around here. It really is. See, I find when I've raced here a couple of times, and I've got my best results from Hungary. So it is one of those things that you do want to pick the harder tyre. Hards did really well for me. Right now we've got DXT Herbo's put a 124.9, and he's retired for the session, realising that a lot of these drivers may not be able to beat that time. Now, we've got, how many other drivers? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 drivers left out being able to put a lap in. He's in P2 at the moment. DXT Singh's time is still faster than his, so effectively he is third. But DXT, obviously, it doesn't carry. DXT Singh will not carry over into Q3. Working this out, if everybody got quicker than Herbo, Herbo will be out. And there's iHider, parking up, having a sunbathe in this weather. Obviously can't handle the pressure of turn 1 with those wheels. That tyre there, just sitting in the middle of the road. I bet you none of these can actually see it. It is just a glitch, obviously. iHider staying out the way. Now, I have not spoken about iHider. He is a new driver to the league. He's a controversial driver as well. There has been, and I do believe we have a spin error. I know it's just a car slowing down to allow another car through, so I think that was Speedy and DXT Moyland passing each other. Now, iHider is a driver. That he's hyper aggressive. He has no spatial awareness, as far as we've seen in Spain. He is quick. He does hold a right nice racing line, but his racecraft awareness and his spatial awareness will need a significant improvement, especially around Hungary. Hungary is one of those circuits that you do not overtake unless you know you're going to make it done. Which means that it is going to be a dive bomb into turn 1. Round the outside of turn 2. If you're lucky, heading into turn 13. Best thing is gas describing drivers. I've got to sit here and talk about these drivers. A lot of these drivers are. I've got to try and be political because if it wasn't being political, I'd be the driver through and through. So yeah, it is one of those things. Now, again, I'll say this: he's a driver that I would not want to compete against because I don't think I'd survive racing against him. Oh, we've got a helicopter view. Helicopter. And that is Speedy. Can Speedy get himself a little bit more comfort room? He's got to worry because we've got Moyland and Matty sitting in P11 and P12. They're due to bump up. As again, Moyland has popped up. So it's happened there because Moyland is in the pits, but it's still point of time at 127.7. And it said he's left the session. But at least he's through to Q3 at the moment. He goes, yeah guys, I know. So, Rejan, yeah guys, I know you love watching me race, no need to say it. Well, I'd love to see you crash. I love to see. I would love to see a Memento, but my God, that crash would be amazing. It's posted saying Nilmer's got the fastest time, 125.2, but I think he's got the fastest time in the with the wet tyres. That's all. So I do believe we may have a glitch, and this is going to bug me. Lewis, I've asked Homer about that Rebecca Bell partnership. Yes, that's amazing. So you guys, if you are joining in, rewind back to the beginning and have a listen to our my welcoming song. I'll be honest, I will hands down tell you straight up that Rebecca Black would not want to be reminded of her singing career. She tries to forget about her Friday song with the wavy hand at the back of the convertible. And there's her going, we have to reset the lobby after Q3. So guys, so a reset a lobby after Q3. I will try my damned hardest not to end the stream when we do the switch. You get a nice pretty blue page. You'll still hear me ranting about crap. Red John, may I commentate if you reset the lobby please? Will be lovely chatting with Gaz. Oh, now that you see that quickly that changed from being a wet track to a detailed track. That was a very bizarre. So end the Q2, right? So we've got non-human taking up a 122.8, Dixie Herbert with a 124.9. Yeah, they're not showing the times, but we know they did that on soft. Nilmer 125.2, Sonicus 125.6. So they're pretty decent times. We're saying goodbye to Singh, Lewis DeBeco, Scotty Harris, Dixie Moyland, Freedom, Fight Me Albot, and Sesvin. So we're only going to have 8 drivers doing the shootout into Q3. Shock horror that Hobo is sitting second on the timer screen. How did he get there? I really have no idea why that guy ended up second. Can you play the song MC Mental at his best? No, I don't know the song. I'll have to listen to it, and I think it's appropriate for my stream next week. Then I'll play it. But right now, no go homo. Right, so we are in Q3. We're waiting for these drivers to get out. So we got a couple driving out. Who's it? So non-human being the first driver to exit the pits. Now, it's a dump circuit. There's no rain. So, what we're going to be expecting, we've got 10 minutes. Whether the track will dry out in 10 minutes, you can see there is a drying line going through. The racing line is drying up. Bit weird that there's been no car since Q2 when it was soaking wet, and there is a racing line forming on the track. I've just had a little request. I'll tell you what, Lewis, I will listen to it between Q3 and the race when the new lobbies get made. So, here we go, boys and girls. Let's see. Do you see that line on non-human tuck? That is the quick line out of turn 15, which will give you the maximum speed over that line. He goes around turn 1 now. Round out 1A. Heading into turn 2. Turn 2, the sweeper left-hander. Heading up into turn 3. Now, this run up to turn 4, there could be an overtake. Potential is there for an overtake, but you've got to make it over the way before you get to the turn, because this is where you'll see a lot of people invalidate into turn 4. Turn 5, watch that inside curb. That inside curb is like pulling your own teeth out with a pair of pliers. You know you shouldn't, but when you do it, it's going to hurt a lot. Around turns 6 and 7, on to turn 8. Around turn 9. Now, turn 9 is this one that you can invalidate quite easily on. Around turn 11. No, turn 10, sorry. Is 11. Almost invalidated there, but very nicely done. Into turn 12. Sweeping through. Around turn 13. And around 14 to finish. That's a good start from non-human for 127.2. So we are expecting a lot more of these times to tumble down. No, we're 128.8. I'm sure we could get quicker, but we'll see. So we are expecting a few drivers to actually give a good standing on this race. Shonicus, let's see how he does. Pops on 127.7. Basically splits the two drivers through the middle there. The Scottishman and the Irishman. Or the Northern Irishman, should I say. Let's get that right. So we've got no one else coming out at the moment. I think some of these drivers are going to wait till it dries up a bit. But that's not what you should be doing. Oh, here we go. And I do believe that was Dutchy McDutchface. It is. Dutchy McDutchface is coming out of the play. So right now we have 2 McLarens and 2 AlphaTauris in the top 8. Which will make the team racing a bit interesting. It's quite bizarre to see that we haven't got DXT Moyland in Q3 considering that he has got He's had a few good races, but I think he might be tumbling down the pack now. So, right, so I'm going to quickly jump into the driver standings, guys. Bear with me. There we go. So, currently, after Spain, we've got DXC Moylan sitting at the top with 171 points. Non-Human in second with 129 points. DXC Sig with 116. Frenzy with 106. So, it is still quite doable for Moylan to tumble down the order. He does losing a few races, so giving these guys a chance to catch up. We have Fight Me Now Bot in fifth with 87. Lewis DeBeeker with 74. Speedy with 61. Dixie Anthony on 57, who we are missing today. We have DXC Matty with 56. We have Hobo with 49. Sesvin with 29. We have Dara with 25. Dara's been here for one race, has won one race and never come back again. Scotty Harris with 23 points. We got Flea with 22. Dutch with Dustface with 21. We have Shodicus with 19. Nilmo with 16. Moyo, who we are missing, with 12. Hydra with 4. And Freedom still yet to score a point. That might change today. We might have Hydra. Here we go. We can see that Hobo is out there with some soft tyres. The track is still slightly damp. So it'll be quite interesting to see how he does. The team standings at the moment, we have Mercedes with 232, Alpha Tauri with 185, Alfa Romeo with 165, we have Williams with 163, Haas with 90, Aston Martin with 87, we have Ferrari with 54, McLaren with 40, Alpine with 30, and Red Bull at the bottom with 12. So we need a lot more from the Red Bull team. So we are sitting here now, seeing how Hobo does now with Q3, these soft tyres on this thing, and DRS is there, so the track must be dry enough for that. Here we go, hammer around into turn 4. Handles that well. How does he take? He takes turn 5 with a lot of caution. Very nice view for turn 7 and 8. Handles down very well. Now watch him down turn 11 and see how he does. He did not invalidate that lap because he ran the length. On 13, now on 14. Let's hear how he does. Let's go round the corner. And how was it down? Let's see. 1:21.4. That's a very respectable time for Hobo. we should be seeing some really quick times from other drivers. So non-human on an out lap. We've got Shulikus on an out lap. We've got Nilmer, who's on a fast lap at the moment. Dixie might in a fast lap. And Hydra eating some curb. Well, he must have clipped that curb, spun out. He's got right out of the way. Dutchface is about to start his fast lap. And Speedy's not far behind, so hopefully he's got enough time to get himself around. He should do. Lap time we'll say 1:30. He's already halfway around, so he's got 15 seconds to play with, really. DXT Matty manages to keep that valid. And Nilman with a 1:20.3. What a time! I do like this. This view is fantastic. If only we could actually have a static camera at times, because you'll see some fantastic views. And the rolling camera for DXT Matty going through turn 11, very nicely done. As he comes down into turn 12. Sweet as a nut. Now 30. Bit wayward. Bit too deep, and he's into the pits. What's bizarre that Matty could have registered a half decent time. So here goes Dutchy with Dutch face with a 118.2. Very nicely done. I think Hobo's run out of fuel. Noah gets himself a second with 1:19.0. We've got non-human. And Shodakus. With 1:17. Non-human. So 1:17.6 for Shodakus. And 1:17.0 for non-human. So we've got DXT Sausage with 1:18.1, puts himself into P3. So that's some fantastic times there. We've got Hobo, who is miles away. Dutch face. Don't know if he can improve on his time, but he's close. He does as well. 1:17.5, a fantastic time there for Dutchy with Dutch face. Absolutely stellar time. Matty had wing damage. Ah, that's unfortunate. So we've just got a notification through. So we're going to jump across there. So just waiting for this to join. I'll give it a minute. Bear with me one moment. Let's see if we can get back into this group. Guys, I do apologise. I'm gonna have to restart the game due to the fact that this game is glitchy as hell, and the host connection dropped. So yeah, I'm gonna have to restart this game. I do apologise.